And hello again, everyone. It is me, it is Zach, and I'm bringing you your Supernatural Season 11 review of Episode 11, Into the Mystic. And this episode was funny. It was one of the one-off episodes, but it was a great episode. I loved this episode of Supernatural. So I'm going to go over the episode a little bit, and then I'll tell you what I liked, and I'll tell you what I didn't like, and here we go. This episode starts off with, and I didn't really know the point of showing this, and you see a baby and her dad in this house, and he's playing some music to keep her happy. The mom comes back, and the dad starts beating his head against a wall, and it turns out a banshee's attacking them. So the mom somehow knew a spell to get rid of it. And she does. She banishes the banshee, but not till after she kills herself and the dad's dead and leaves the baby by itself. So fast forward to present day, you see Sam remembering what Lucifer was telling him when he was in the cage about leaving Dean and everything. And this episode, it really focused on Sam's guilt and how Sam felt bad and how being around Lucifer pulled up all those old emotions. So you see them talking, and then Dean tells him about this case of a guy who bled out of his ears and his eyes, and he was in the locked room at this place, and it was close by. Then you see Castiel / Lucifer being followed by an angel in a park that he's just walking around in. And he ends up killing it, because he tries to convince the angel, hey, I'm not your enemy, I'm not here to fight, I just want to, help, I'm the only hope to stop the darkness. Well, he has to kill it. He ends up going back to the bunker and ends up going through things. Before you get there, though, Sam and Dean are at this place. They think that it was a guy, maybe come back as a vengeful spirit, so they salt and burn him, and it turns out, no, it's the Banshee. They run into this older lady who saw one of the guys get killed, and she, she's got a crush on Dean. So they figure out what it is. They run into this, what do you call them? She does the carts. Anyways, she's a tenant. She cleans everything there. I'm stupid. I don't remember the word. And she's deaf. So she's reading their lips after Sam has talked to her, to see if she saw anything, heard anything. She didn't, and she read their lips and saw them talking about, it's feeding time and everything. And she looks really suspicious. So at first I'm thinking to myself, well, what if she's, summoned the Banshee? Well, she starts following Sam around because they know they have to get this golden knife. So Dean's got to go back to the bunker to get the golden knife. I'm missing a lot of little details, but the middle minute details aren't really important. It was a fun episode. That's what's important. I'm just giving you the key points. So Dean goes back. He runs into Castiel, Lucifer, who plays off as Cass perfectly. Could not tell a difference, and Dean tells him about what Amara told him, how they're connected and they're going to be together forever, and how he tried to kill her, but he couldn't, etc., etc., and they have that conversation. Well, Sam talks to the older lady, I forgot her name, and he tells her the truth that they're not police officers, they're not FBI, that they're hunters, and that they hunt monsters. She's like, oh, I knew it, I knew that ghost I saw was real, and then they told her about the Banshee and how to do it. Well, then Sam starts looking around, I guess, to talk to more people, and he sees the lady following him, the younger lady, the deaf one. And he follows her into the supply closet where they keep all the stuff. And you see her step out. She cuts her hand and puts it on this symbol on the wall, pushing Sam against the other symbol across the room. And at first I was like, oh my God, she's working with them. And then she's like, she's like, you're pretty good at covering up, being a Banshee. Never seen them blend in so well. He's like, no, you got the wrong idea. We're not the Banshee, we're hunters. And he convinces her, she lets him loose. It turns out that she grew up a hunter, that the parents that you saw at the beginning of the episode were her parents, and they died. So she was raised by a hunter who found her to learn to hunt, and now she's been hunting this banshee because she's almost 100% sure it's the same one who killed her parents. So Sam tells Dean, has him look it up. She turns out she's a legacy for the Men of Letters. So they come back. They figure out that the older lady's the vulnerable one. So they all come back. She's crushing on Dean, flirting with Dean, having him. She says, have you ever just looked at a sunset and not wondered what goes bump in the night? And Dean just kind of sits there. And she says, you know what the key to happiness is in growing old? He's like, actually, yes. She's like, follow your heart. Words to live by, people. Words to live by. So then Dean starts hearing the screams in his head. So it wasn't targeting the older lady. It's targeting Dean. So Dean starts bashing his head against the wall, and mayhem ensues. And the old lady ends up cutting her hand, putting it on the wall to pin the demon. And the deaf girl runs up, stabs it, kills it. Very nice. Bravo to the deaf lady. She's a badass hunter. So, I'm saying a lot. I'm trying to get through my thoughts. A little slow today. A little off. It's weird not doing this with Wayne. I'm used to having him sit here. Right here. My little buddy. My hair looks a little blonde today. Look, ain't that just gorgeous? It's so beautiful. I'm not editing that out. So anyways, they end up killing the banshee. Save the day. Old girl talks about maybe going to law school, but she decides, you know what, this is my life. I'm going to stay a hunter. Dean flirts with the old lady back a little bit and says that he's single and he's ready to play. They drive off, and Lucifer I'm going to call him Lestiel. That's what I'm calling Lestiel. Lucifer. He's still in the wind, and they still don't have a clue that he's Lucifer. So I'm kind of glad they're keeping that back. They'll probably reveal that closer towards the end of the season. With all that being said, what I liked, what I didn't like. What I didn't like, it really wasn't a lot. I mean, this was a pretty solid episode. If I had one nitpick, it was Dean being a sob, about things and trying to hold things back from Sam again. Have they not learned their lesson with that? But it wouldn't be the show if they didn't do that. And that's really, honestly, my only gripe about this episode. And I'll tell you what I did like. I loved the old lady in her interaction with Dean. And her, she puts her hand on his knee when they're talking. And he's like, your hand's still on my knee. And she's all like, I can move it up. That's awesome. And then, yeah, Sam's still dealing with what he's dealing with. And you get a new character. Maybe they'll bring her back in another episode. That'd be pretty cool. And she's a legacy. Why not? Why not? But that's pretty much it. This is it for my review of this episode of Supernatural. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all don't beat me to death in the comments for really not being too great at this today. But if you did like this video, hit that like button. I will leave links to all of our social media and how to get to us and how to subscribe to us. All that is down there in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. God bless America, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.